You know, Carvey, I wrote the book specifically for the church lady. All right? I may take a nap during the podcast.
That's what most of
And
the
you're going to be
customers
like
do.
David.
But out of respect for you and Spade, the last time I saw Spade, we were both shoplifting in Beverly Hills. You know me, I've been on every talk show a million times. I'm banned from them now. Now they don't want to hear about me. Tina Fey hates me.
Tina Fey hates you.
Hates you?
Hold on.
So does the blonde.
The
Amy
cuddliest
Poehler
cuddly bear?
Amy Poehler.
Oh, so does the blonde. Me?
hates me.
Dana, Bill O'Reilly is on today. Bill O'Reilly,
Bill O'Reilly.
who is interesting guest for us, a little different, off the beaten path. Friends with Dennis Miller. That's where I met him.
Billy.
And has books out, lots of books out. He's very much a thinker and a doer. And he says he's an independent. I mean, a lot of people, including myself, were thinking, oh, you're obviously right politically. And he says, that was kind of shocking.
He really, what we talked about was his latest book was about the history of kind of evil people like Genghis Khan and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a very easy read, but it's really informative. You know, how much you know about all these, you know, Napoleon or all these people who did evil things.
Yeah, he does have
Napoleon was in there.
a deep knowledge of history. We didn't really get into too much politics, but which is good. You know, we just talked about the books and about Dennis and about, he does love comedy. And so I thought it was a nice chat.
Yeah, and he does talk to Trump on the phone twice a month. So he says some insightful things about the man who occupies the White House.
Yeah.
If you're interested. I think it'll be fun to listen to.
It's a fun listen, and here he is, Bill O'Reilly.
Bill O'Reilly. I feel like I'm on your show. This is really funny. You've got a nice studio tie on.
Now I'm watching you guys here.
Can't hear me? Can't hear us?
Yeah, Spade looks like he's in a bat cave. You look like you're in Bali, Indonesia.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to have plants in podcasts.
Yeah, absolutely. Because most people you interview are potted plants anyway.
Oh, my God.
Jeez, two in a row. How old are you?
Shots fired.
Yeah, I'm 17. This will be, and thanks for having me on, you guys. I really appreciate it.
We're excited to talk to you. You're never, ever boring, ever.
Well, you know, that's probably true, but I know that you have access to the Kardashians, and you know, I'm very, very flattered to be here.
That's right. We do. By the way, I'm really enjoying your book. Let's just start with this because I have a lot of other questions, secular questions about society and all that.
Sure.
But I am really enjoying it. I'd recommend it to anyone. Confronting Evil. I'm a casual history buff, but you realize you don't really know. I love the way it's written. I read Genghis Khan first. It's very nice in terse sentences. It's very clear. It moves. It has a thesis, and they tell you what they're eating and how they're sleeping. So I'm just really enjoying it. I read Mao this morning, so I'm in a very cheerful mood about the state of humanity.
You read all the fun parts first.
Anyway, it's bite-sized chapters, quote unquote, and you can go anywhere you want, but it's just the most evil people in history. So anyway, that's my pitch.
You know, Carvey, I wrote the book specifically for the church lady. Right? I mean, Satan, and I was commiserating with the church lady, and she demanded that I write Confronting Evil to get all the evil out there, and what the church lady commands, I do. So I want everybody to know that.
I talked to her before I came out. I can only paraphrase it. Well. Mr. Bill O'Reilly writes a book about naughty people when he could have been writing about himself. There you go. Everyone wants a church lady singer. So anyway, how are you? Where are you in your cycle? I knew you'd be early on the podcast, and you seem to have unlimited energy. So what are you going to take a nap after this podcast?
I am. I may take a nap during the podcast.
That's what most of
And
the
you're going to be like
customers do.
David.
But out of respect for you and Spade, the last time I saw Spade, we were both shoplifting in Beverly Hills. I don't know whether he remembers it. We were one of those big stores on Beverly Boulevard.
Oh, it was Barney's.
Yeah. He stashed a little shirt in his sweatshirt. I think I had some silverware in my pants. And we kind of just ran into each other.
Right, on the stairs. I knew I had up to $1,000, so nobody cared. I ran out of there. No, Barney's closed. It was sad. It was sad. I couldn't waste money anymore.
But anyway, my cycle is interesting. I'm kind of a little bit like you guys, but you're much more talented than I am. So what we do here, once I left Fox News, was I said, look, I've been working for corporations now for 42 years, and I'm going to do it on my own now. I'm going to go out. So I did 3 corporations, 1 TV, 1 radio, and 1 books and internet, social media. And I took 5 people from Fox with me, and then we grew it. 60 people work for me, 60 now. So I'm like 87 years old, which you could probably see. And my friends are all driving around in carts and playing pickleball. And I said, are you really hitting the pickles? I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah,
what is that? Yeah. But I'm working like a Sherpa. I mean, I would rather be taking luggage up the Himalayas than doing what I'm doing now.
Sometimes working for someone is okay, but sometimes.
Yeah, but at least I'm calling my own shots.
Oh my God. Well, that trend has only accelerated exponentially since you started, and Glenn Beck, and then everybody else, and Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson. They create their own ecosystem, and there's no difference, and everybody's watching everything on YouTube. And so, I mean, to me, for you to have a boss doesn't seem correct.
Well, I never really had one but there was some big boys like Roone Arledge. He was the guy that started Monday Night Football, and Howard Cosell, and then it was Roger Ailes. They were tough guys. They were like Lorne Michaels for you guys.
Sure.
I mean, you could go up against them, but you better have your stuff together. But I was never a corporate guy. So I stayed at Fox for more than 20 years, banked a lot of money. And then I said, I'm going to try to do this on my own because of the technology, and it's worked great. And not only that, but the freedom that we have, because you're in business now, is just for me emotionally really a boost. That's where I get my energy. So I was in LA over the weekend with Mar. And his dopey show.
I saw that.
He works for HBO. Now, he's got autonomy like crazy. He's been there 23 years. He can do pretty much what he wants to do. He's got, 1,000 writers and all of this, but he's still got that corporate structure. He still has to go to the meetings and stuff like that. And, I'm saying, hey, Mar, you probably make more money just doing this on your own, which he's starting to do.
Right, with Club Random.
With the podcast, he's inching over.
Yeah. But he could do the same kind of show himself. And so I'm glad I was around long enough to see this happen, because going on a traditional talk show, you get the Q&A up front, the host is feeding you, and now it's just, this is like green room stuff. We're just getting to talk to you unfiltered.
Are you guys amazed, though, that in our lifespans, I'm older than you, but we came up in what they call the golden era of TV, linear TV. Are you surprised at the changes and how fast they came in?
David?
Yeah, I am for sure. And I'm also surprised. It's also hard to stay in the business in any way, shape, or form, because it switches over to TikTok. I mean, I was on sitcoms for a while. There's not many sitcoms being made. There's a lot of people doing it the do it yourself way, as you're talking about. Some it works, some it doesn't. But if you have an audience, hopefully they can find you and you can get a bigger piece and call the shots. I look at that Jimmy Kimmel situation. There's definitely 2 sides to like having a boss and saying what you want to say. And unless you are the boss, it just shows you can't always it's not like real freedom of speech. It's more like we have to keep it within reason for advertising. There's always sort of a boss, right? Unless you're doing your own thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only that, though, it weighs you down because YouTube in particular are creative, funny guys. I'm more of a journalist, kind of give me the facts and all that. But when you're being second guessed, all right,
Yeah.
that kind of emotional stuff cuts into the creativity. Because if you're creative, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to screw up. Sometimes it's going to fall flat. But in order to get the big hits, you got to try stuff. And all the corporate suits are like, oh, no, we can't do that.
Sure.
But for Kimmel and Colbert, and I know all these guys, and you know me, I've been on every talk show a million times. I'm banned from most of them now. Now they don't want to hear about me. Okay.
Yeah. Jon Stewart and you have a nice.
You have to be banned from some,
Yeah, that changed, and it's a bad change for America. But once Trump came in, if you didn't hate Trump, then you were banished. I was on The View like a dozen times, and mixed it up with the ladies, and it was, when Barbara Walters around, was good. But once they started to really hate Trump, and I was talking to Kimmel through one of his friends, and I said, look, it's okay to make fun of Trump, but if you hate him, if there's just blood dripping from your nose,
sure,
you're alienating 50% of the country. Don't be more, get him if you want, all right? But don't be hateful about it. And that is what has changed.
My philosophy is to be funny first, because that's the way I was, raised on comedy. Be funny first. If you make a point within it, but if it's just the goal is to teach as a comedian, I don't really like that style personally.
Yeah. It's hard to be taught.
What happened is that, and I'm partially responsible for this. I never forget, I had Ted Koppel on The Factor. And Koppel looked at me and said, "You ruined television news." And I said, "Thank you. Thank you. It needed to be ruined because pinheads like you were excluding half the country. All right. We couldn't, you couldn't get their point of view because you guys are sitting in the ivory towers in Manhattan. So I'm glad I broke it down. But then what it went was, when Trump comes in, they were making money hating him, and they're making money like him. And that's where it all broke down. So now when people turn on linear television, they expect to get propaganda on one side or the other. And then the social media, at least some of us, and I include you guys in that, we're not interested in making money hating or loving somebody. We want to be entertaining and informative. And that's why I think we win.
Yeah. I'd agree with that.
I agree.
I just have to tell you, Dana, there's something I'm excited about. Now, you remember we talked about Jury Duty, the show.
Oh,
Season 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one, I saw it on TikTok, and then it was kind of a word of mouth thing. It blew up. It was funny. And it actually all pulled together, which I was shocked they pulled that thing together.
Yeah.
And I was like, will they do it again? And they did.
And cool. I think that's very cool.
It was set in the courtroom the first time. And this is going to be a company retreat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jury Duty presents company retreat. It takes this groundbreaking social experiment out of the courthouse. Stay with me, Dana.
Yeah, I got it.
And drops it into the most relatable setting ever. The company corporate retreat. And if you've ever survived that awkward team building exercises or a trust fall with coworkers, you know the vibe.
Yeah. I mean, this is an inspired idea, I got to say, after Jury Duty, to put it in a company retreat. This season follows Anthony, a real temp hired by Rockin' Grandma's Hot Sauce for their annual retreat.
Right there, they should figure it out. Rockin' Grandma's Hot Sauce.
Yeah, I know. Except he has no idea the entire thing is staged around him. It's a workplace comedy meets hidden camera. And it's unpredictable. It's authentic. It's so full of heart. The stakes are higher. The laughs are bigger. And it still celebrates the goodness in people. And here's the wild part. Rockin' Grandma's hot sauce. They're actually making it.
Okay.
And the
okay.
flavors will be available on Amazon.
Oh my God! I wonder if they started that first, or if they just made up that name and then it sounded funny. And
Mhm.
but it's going to get a lot of attention. But this thing, I'm kind of glad they didn't do it in the courtroom again, because someone would figure that out, I would think.
Oh, I don't think they could do it in the courtroom. I think the company retreat is the next best one. Yeah.
It's hard to think of where to do it, but they did a good job. So looking forward to that.
Me too. Watch now on Prime Video. For comedians in the last 7-8 years, it's been very, very touchy. And you did sort of start to say to yourself, well, I can't say that. And I'm not X-rated or anything, but even certain kind of takes, couldn't do it.
X-rated is better than having.
Well, let me give you an
political
example. As an outsider.
And then I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm watching you on SNL with Biden.
That's what I was going to bring up. Go ahead.
And it's brilliant. I mean, I'm on the floor. Okay. But I like you anyway. I like both of you, or I wouldn't be here. So I don't do podcasts with people I don't like.
Thank you.
I said, so I'm going, look, but it wasn't malicious. It wasn't Alec Baldwin, like, if I could beat his brains in, I would.
Yeah.
No, you were just you're making fun of him. All right.
Well,
but I know that Saturday Night Live got some blowback from it. What are you making fun of Biden for? And that's the problem. You've got SNL now knows its audience is 90% liberal. So they're feeding them that stuff. It's still funny, all right? But they're feeding them that.
But I think it got to the point where they were allowing it. You could make fun of Biden because after that George Clooney article, it started to switch. And then it was like, well, okay, Dana.
Yeah, there's a big line in the sand, because Lorne had asked me to do him when he was still going to be the nominee, and I said, okay, I'll try, because I knew it was a slippery slope and you had to thread the needle, even if I was in a club or doing it anywhere. And then he's not running anymore and Kamala's in there. And that's when I emerged. But when I came out the first night with Maya Rudolph, I was ready for maybe a heckling, So I had it loaded in my head in case someone heckled me. I'd say, get your facts straight, Jack. I wanted to just get back at him. But it just started with this. And this isn't political. He would say these non sequiturs. This was the hook. Folks, guess what? And by the way, the fact of the matter is, no, I'm being serious here. I'm not kidding around. So that was like a little song for me that didn't make a statement, but I felt that he was underserved, if you could say it that way, in the satirical department during his tenure. Whether a president deserves it or not, you feel like it's a good sign if people are having some fun with the guy who's in charge of our country. But it was fun to go in there and do that, and the audience at that point accepted what I was doing. And I don't really actively hate anyone I do. Like in my heart, I hate this person. Now I'm going to do an impression.
Right.
You would be the exception. I would.
Because I'm really easy to hate. And that is a fact. The other aspect of what you guys do that intersects with what I do is that you have to be honest about it. So I like the guy who does Trump now on SNL. I've named
James Austin Johnson. Yes.
Right. I like him because he's a pro, but and he gets his lines in, but he doesn't drip of malice. Yeah. Okay. You can see that he's doing his job as a comedian to deliver funny lines. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's just when it crosses over into the destruction. When I went out to LA this weekend, I had a person walk up to me at the HBO studio and goes, "Oh, I was so happy to have a Republican guest." And I go, "Well, who's that?"
Yeah.
I'm looking around. I'm not a Republican. And the person was like shocked. I said, I'm a registered independent. What I'm trying to do is find a best problem solver for the country, and that's who I'm going to get behind. But I'm not going to, I am a traditional American. There's no doubt about it. I like all that. I think that's why we're the most powerful nation in the world that's ever existed. And that's one of the reasons I wrote Confronting Evil, was because we have evil in America, and I want people to know about it. And I write about the slave traders becoming the richest men in the world by doing this horrible stuff in New Orleans and Virginia. And then I write about Rockefeller and J.P. Morgan, who are, Wall Street icons to this day. They were rotten bastards. Okay? And Teddy Roosevelt took them out.
Yep.
And so I'm the kind of guy that isn't an ideologue, and ideologues bore me to death. It's just the same stuff over and over and over again. The propaganda stuff, I hate it.
Well, I think it's smart to be independent, because if you say you're right, everyone just thinks so far extreme white supremacist or whatever the labels are. And if you say you're a Democrat, they think so far left. So there's tons of people that are still in the middle that want to think clearly and just sort of go case by case, issue by issue. But if someone gets a whiff, you're one side or the other, it's immediately a problem or not. And that's affecting everything. When we say we're not political, but it affects the dating world. My friends are saying they go on a date and they're being felt out to see what they are right away to know if it's going to go any further. It wasn't like that in the old days. It's come into talk shows and everything and comedy that wasn't like that. Now it's sort of infecting everything and it really splitting people up.
Even families.
Families for sure.
Yeah. I mean, Thanksgiving coming
obvious,
up, and it's like, okay, here's Uncle Fred, and he's a commie, and I'm going to hit him with the gravy.
Here's Uncle Zoran Mandami at dinner. Let's see what happens.
One of the reasons I put that nitwit Dennis Miller on my show.
Finally.
The one and only Dennis Miller.
Oh, my God.
What a brain.
I remember going, this is the greatest story. So I always liked Miller because Miller, to me, took no BS from anybody. Yeah. Okay? And I know that to be true. So I went into Roger Ailes and I said, this was right after Miller was on CNBC and he had a monkey on his show. I don't know whether you guys remember that.
Yes.
He's a monkey, a real monkey, okay, on the show.
His name's Gleeko.
Right. It was inexplicable. There was no real reason to have the monkey, but there was a monkey. And the show did not do well. Okay.
That was the jump the shark monkey.
Yeah, the chimp didn't quite, his trainer overfed him, and he got on stage. Next thing I know, I'm at an 0.2, all right?
So I knew Miller a little bit, and I knew how brilliant he was.
Yeah, brilliant mind.
And so I went into Ailes, the head of Fox, and I go, I want to put Miller on the air. And he goes, why? Isn't he the guy with the monkey? I said, yeah, we won't use the monkey.
That's now his thing.
But Ailes worked at CNBC, so he knew. I said, we're not using the monkey. We're just going to use Miller. All right, just once a week, because I want to get a totally unpredictable take on the country, on the world.
Very true. Yeah, you'll get it.
Right?
Yeah.
And it worked. It worked great. And it would just boom, it blew up. Everybody looked forward to it. And then Miller and I went out on the road.
On the road, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and phenomenal.
Huge audiences. Huge. I know from Dennis.
Yeah, we did. We did well. The only shows that I did that were more successful were the 4 I did with Trump, which were unbelievable about attendance and grosses and stuff like that, because that was after he lost the election, even though he never admitted he lost it. And we went out to the arenas and we did a history thing. But Miller's, to this day, the way he can analyze stuff, he just cuts right through the garbage and gets right to the essence of how absurd it is, which is what I was looking for.
Yeah.
No, he's amazing. I mean, his quote at the end of the day, it was like, Jesus, all I'm trying to do is keep half my money and kill the bad guys. All right. That was like a nice, tight way.
Now, you guys, you got to tell me something now.
Sure.
please.
I tried to drag Miller to the anniversary show, which I was invited to. I don't know, was it 30th or 30th, something.
50th.
He wouldn't go to the SNL anniversary show.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a skit for them, a What Up skit. Is that the Keenan Thompson
Oh
thing?
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, you were in that.
I was
Yeah.
in that. And I said, and Michaels was kind enough to invite me to the show. Nobody would sit next to me, so I had the big row to myself.
You had a
Was
whole
this
row?
the 40th or the 50th? Which
10
one?
10
It was
years
the
ago?
40th.
Yeah. Okay.
40th, yeah.
And I go, Miller, you got to come to the SNL reunion thing with me. Come on, be huge. And he wouldn't go.
I'll send the monkey.
Do you guys know why he wouldn't go?
That's
It's a tough one.
We should have
Yeah,
him on right now.
He wouldn't tell me either.
Yeah.
I said, Miller, there's got to be a reason.
I know
What
he
are you
doesn't
doing?
like tons of fanfare, but he's kind
No,
of private, quiet.
right.
I don't know.
I thought it was that he was shooting the Bordello of Blood 2.
Dennis was surprisingly
Shots fired.
good in that movie.
Yeah.
Surprisingly
Oh, he's
good.
brilliant. He was
Yeah.
brilliant in
Yeah,
that
yeah,
film.
yeah.
But I think with Dennis, like I always say, of a single update guy to the camera, there's always the first guy, Chevy. I think Dennis is
Yeah.
the best to do it. There were teams of Tina Fey and Jimmy,
Yeah.
but I think Dennis is the best. And then he was sort of other, he was considered a conservative in Hollywood in a certain way. So I don't know, which was unfair because I see him as an independent like you.
Oh,
He just
absolutely.
is, he's
Absolutely
not an
independent.
ideal.
All you need is to give someone a whiff, and then word spreads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And that's what happened with him. Yeah.
Norm Macdonald was very good, way ahead of his time.
yes.
Still would be.
doing Weekend Update. Right. Time
the way,
would
there-
never catch up to Norm.
There's an example of you're on a show and your boss doesn't like you, Don Olemeyer, and you get fired.
And it was ridiculous. But that being said, I understood the animus.
Well,
that
it was
Norm
Sure.
Norm
had.
Well,
just
Norm's bananas.
You tell him not to do any
He's
jokes
gonna
about
do it.
He's gonna can't not do them.
Yeah.
And
How can
I-
I not do it? You'll get fired. That's
So
where I
here-
could not do it.
Here's my Norm story. My 16-year-old son at the time, Norm is playing Long Island out in Huntington, and we go to see him. And Norm and I had a very good relationship. So we went backstage. So he looks at my son and he goes, whose name is Spencer. He goes, Spencer, I've got one piece of advice for you. And my son's 16, and he loves Norm. What's that, Mr. McDonald? Don't smoke crack.
It's not a bad nugget.
Of all the advice,
Yeah.
It's very Norm. It's like,
You start with the softballs.
right?
Yeah.
hey,
And then my son's
Right.
looking at me like, what? What?
Yeah.
no, there's
listen.
only one Norm and one Dennis. Those guys, fantastic.
And I was privileged to interact with both of them. I have to say, because what you guys do is very, very difficult.
Thank
Very.
you, Bill.
No, it's the
It
hardest part of
is.
showbiz because
Bill.
you got to be on it all the time. Expectations are through the roof, and you got to perform. You got to come through. It's like hitting cleanup for the Dodgers. If you're going to ground it to double plays, you're not going to be there long.
Tina Fey said that once, that just every time you go out on a talk show as a comedian, you feel you have to kill. You have to kill.
And if you don't, then you blame yourself because who else
Yeah.
is there to blame?
I
Now-
blame the crowd. Yeah.
Tina Fey hates me.
Tina Fey hates you.
Hates you?
Hold
and so
on.
does the blonde.
The
Amy
cuddliest
Poehler
cuddly bear?
Amy Poehler.
Oh, so does the blonde. Me?
hates me.
Not anymore.
Hates me to
Amy.
right.
Oh, Amy. Yeah.
Hates me to
Yeah.
the extent that it's funny.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, boy. This is the worst. Here he comes to the Neanderthal of all time. Here he
Oh,
is.
no.
Do you,
Oh, it's okay.
your
don't
brain,
patch 'em in.
do you get your feelings hurt? Are you
Yeah.
a lost ship at sea, or have you gotten post any of that? Just knowing where, or is that just your nature from childhood? I mean,
Do you read
seem,
comments?
You
when
can
you're
take
raised
a
in
lot of hits,
Levittown-
like Trump takes hits. It just keeps going.
Listen, I've been friends with Trump for 35 years, and he's the only human being I know who can take more garbage than I can. The guy is like, he's like, boom.
I couldn't
you
take
can't get
1%
through.
of that.
It's just Star Wars shield there. But when you're raised in Levittown, like I was, and in post-World War II, when there were like 80,000 kids on the street, and your parents didn't want you in the house, it's like, why don't you go? It's 14 below zero. No, here's some earmuffs. Out of here.
Yeah.
I didn't care what it was. When you're out there with that many kids, unsupervised, in a working class ghetto, which was what Levittown was, you're fighting all the time. I mean, you're ranking people out. Your mother is this, you're that, So by the time I was 16, I was numb to all of that. Yeah. Now, I have a list of people who were untoward toward me and my family. There is a list, all right? But usually the other stupid stuff, I just swatted away, and so does Trump.
That Levittown sounds like Instagram comments in real life. People aren't used to that. They're not used to the world of that in
Totally
your
different
face.
world.
They hate you, and not just online.
We had to fight, but I didn't get to 6'3". When did you achieve your height?
Big 5'10". How tall are you?
I was always a big boy. As an athlete, and that saved me. I played 4 sports, and then I'd be in a penitentiary. In fact, when I go back to my Levittown neighborhood, because I live fairly close there on Long Island, people go, "How come you're not in a penitentiary?" The over/under was you were going to be in there by the time you're 22.
Oh, right. Nobody saw you being a huge success.
No.
Did you ever get Billy Joel in a headlock?
Yeah.
Did you ever get Billy Joel in a
scissor
headlock?
hold.
Thanks for bringing that up. So Billy Joel lived in Levittown too.
Yes, I know. He wrote the song.
Yeah.
So he lived in the Hicksville section of Levittown. I lived in the Westbury section. Levittown is so humongous, they divide up into 4 post office. And that's why Al Franken was calling me a fraud. Oh, you weren't up in Levittown. All right, yeah, fine. Okay. Al, by the way, is in prison in Burma right now. So you haven't seen him around. That's where he is.
We know all these people.
Yeah, he's on the list. So anyway, Billy Joel and I would cross paths with same age in the summertime up what they call the green, where there was no air conditioning. Nobody had air conditioning at Levittown, 112.
No fucking chance.
He had his crew. I had my crew. And we'd all go up there at night and sing. Everybody would sing a cappella.
Oh, the Jets and the Sharks.
So, yeah. So Billy Joel, it was August, middle August, 95, was wearing a leather jacket. Every night he'd be wearing a leather jacket, get the slick back hair. I go, "Hey, Billy, it's 98. What do you got
in the middle of the night?
Like, yeah, the cigarette like this." So I kept in touch with him all these years.
Nice.
And
I like
he's a good guy. I mean,
Absolutely.
a lot of these rock people, I mean,
He has no pretense, Billy Joel. No,
Billy Joel,
overt ego at all. He'd talk to anybody. Yeah.
Super talented, though.
Good guy.
Yeah.
So about 10 years ago, I invite him to dinner over at my place. So he comes with his wife, and my 2 kids are there. And we sang a song at the dinner table, "So in Love" by the Times. He was the lead, I was the backup. I thought my daughter was going to have a heart attack. What? Like this.
That's
and
a huge deal.
her comment to her friend goes, "Billy Joel was at my house. I don't know why he likes my father." My own daughter. So,
are you a good singer? I mean, I know you're probably not going to do an
I can carry
acapella.
a tune.
Yeah.
I can, "So in love are we two that we," I can do that. But he's lights out. So if you're smart, all you do is do. That's all you do.
Yeah, just support the genius.
Stay near Billy, for sure.
I want to get your hot take on a couple things.
Yeah, let's get some takes.
These are secular things, and that's when you go to like an apolitical thing, okay? AI. Afraid of it? We're trying to make the super brain, these data centers. We need a super brain to solve cancer, solve these things. Excited about it. Hot take.
Yeah, I'm a Luddite, number one. I don't know anything about
10
any
seconds.
of that. But it's inevitable, and I'm going to accept it. But it will never replace me or you, because AI is not going to be born with innate talent. Keep that in mind.
Okay.
We just need it to process a billion bits of information in a billionth of a second and tell us how to make fusion energy. Bitcoin, got it? Oh, sorry, David, do you have a question?
I had one.
Okay.
No,
Who's
I got all
gonna?
my money under my bed. Okay, I don't.
Are you just in bonds? You're not a stock market guy either?
No, I do. My financial advisor, Swifty. We have a nice
Swifty.
portfolio. We believe in capitalism, and we've done okay.
Okay.
Do you think Gavin Newsom will be the next president?
Of Bolivia. Can't be president for one reason: the hair. Look at all 45 presidents. You can't have hair like that. And I said that to Mars. I said, what you have in common with Newsom is the hair.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Guy's got the hair.
You can't still have a modeling comp card.
You guys both live in California.
Yes.
So you know
Yes.
what went on or what goes on out there is going to be forefront. I don't think Governor Newsom has a chance. Stand up to his record in California.
I personally don't agree with all these policies because it's kind of affecting me. But when you go on the national scale, sometimes the other states don't really care.
But he's so out there. And he's adopting a lot of the Trump tactics, a lot of the
He has done the
tactics.
memes and stuff. Yeah.
Yep. He's doing that. So I think a guy like Wes Moore, the governor of Maryland, probably got a better chance because his record is stronger than Newsom's record.
Yeah, and there's also the voice, and he would be Gavin, what you call a pretty boy. You know, he's a little pretty.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter if you're pretty or not, although Abe Lincoln certainly wasn't. But actually, Newsom's tenure really did Spade and I a favor because in California, you can shoplift and nobody cares anymore. So when we were...
Do you
no
think...
cash bail. Yeah, I did not agree with that policy. Is that a weird thing to say? It's like...
Ooh.
Do you think their nominee would be more toward the middle or more toward the left?
Toward the middle on the Democratic side, because people are tired of the lunacy. They were every single day, give us a rest. And when I speak to President Trump, which is, maybe once every 2 weeks or something, I go, can't you take a couple of days off?
Just relax a second.
Yeah. It's just weighs everybody down.
How do we process that energy? He's 79 and you can't keep track. He's in Malay. He's flying all over. I mean, what is that about?
Hardest working president in history. Okay. And the laziest president was Warren Harding.
Of course. I say that every day.
That's true. 1920s. Unbelievable.
That guy.
Trump
what about
driven.
If you do another tour with him, will you call it We'll Do It Live? If you don't call it
guys, I know you're trying to make fun of me, but that's okay.
No, I like that. That's the coolest thing you've ever done.
You guys can open.
I'd love to. I'd love to. How's the green room?
I love it.
Here's a question I have.
You like Diet Cokes? He drinks
a
dozen Diet Cokes a day.
I know, but filet-o-fish, McDonald's, golfs a little bit. Ever Ready Bunny sleeps 4-5 hours a night. I mean, I'm just trying to
6 minutes a night. Not even.
I have to keep my phone on. This is true because he comes in between 1 and 3. Oh, I
Wake
say
up,
that, O'Reilly. That
Bill,
kind of thing.
we're loving what you're doing. You're tremendous, Bill. They're after me. We got a lot of policies we got to do, Bill. But anyway, a lot of people, you're an historian and you have 17 books killing everybody, Lincoln, whatever, 20 million. I mean, you're an author as much as you are anything. As far as the sales are extraordinary. I'm just saying, not trying to kiss your ass, but
No.
it is amazing what you've done. And people now think no kings. Like, okay, so break it down for us. If Trump was to become a dictator in the next 3 years, what are the steps he's got to make pretty soon to achieve that?
Well, first of all, the View ladies would be incarcerated. That would be.
Whoopi
Wouldn't let
Goldberg
them run
behind
around anymore.
bars.
I put a chapter in Confronting Evil about Henry VIII.
Confronting the View.
To show everybody what a real tyrant king is.
I know.
Okay, you didn't want to date Henry VIII, okay? No. And if you're trans, you didn't want to be in the country. You did not want to be around Henry. And thank you for bringing up the books. We are the most successful nonfiction authors in the world now. 20 #1 New York Times bestsellers. And you know how thrilled that paper is to put my name at the top of that bestseller. Party time. O'Reilly's
That's
#1
amazing.
again.
If you're looking to refresh your space and make your home work better for you, Wayfair makes it incredibly easy. From furniture and decor to smart organization solutions and outdoor essentials, there's something for every style. Whether that's mid-century modern, farmhouse, contemporary, or eclectic, spring is the perfect time to swap in lighter bedding, upgrade patio furniture, or add fresh accent pieces that brighten up a room.
Yeah, it's also a great opportunity to finally tackle those home projects like closet systems, garage storage, functional shelving, or even updating a work-from-home setup with a new desk, ergonomic chair. Kid spaces can get a refresh too with playroom organization, bedroom updates that make daily routines smoother. Wayfair's filters, reviews, and visual tools make it simple to narrow down options by style and budget. With thousands of 5-star reviews and available installation and assembly service, the entire process feels pretty seamless. From browsing to delivery, find furniture, decor, and essentials that fit your unique style and budget. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. Oh, Heather's all about the Groons, dude. Spring always makes me want to hit refresh on my routines, my energy, and just how I'm taking care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth is, if my wellness plan feels complicated, I blow it off. I won't stick with it.
That's right.
That's why Groons, that's been an easy solution.
Yeah.
Groons are convenient, comprehensive formula packed into a little snack pack of gummies.
That's right.
A day. Not just a multivitamin, not just a prebiotic. All of that in one simple grab-and-go option.
Mm-hmm. I don't have to think twice. That's what I like in the morning.
Yeah.
And they actually taste great, which makes staying consistent so much easier. You know, David, you get a full daily snack pack because there's no way all of that could fit into just one gummy, right?
Of course.
And it feels like a little treat instead of just another supplement. That's what's great about them. They include 6 grams of prebiotic fiber, which is more fiber than most green powders, and even more than 2 cups of broccoli. Chopping broccoli. That's something else.
Chopping broccoli.
They're vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, nut-free with low sugar or sugar-free options, and HSA, FSA eligible.
What I love the most is the simplicity. I can throw up my bag. I know I'm covered for the day.
Yeah.
You get steadier energy, better digestion, and you feel confident knowing the ingredients are backed by over 35,000 research publications and designed for strong absorption.
Save up to 52% off with code FOTW at Groons.co. But, you know, I'm reading your book, and it just the filth and the disease and just the darkness of all of it is just always a reminder that we are here in America. Obviously, there's people suffering, but, you know, modern medicine, and you can go to the grocery store, most people, I mean, it is a good check because I've seen people in the street with a latte and their iPhone. I hear them talking to their friend, oh my God, this is the worst time to ever be alive. I'm thinking they should read Confronting Evil, you know?
And then they jump into the Prius in Valet Park.
Waymo.
Right. America's lack perspective. And so Confronting Evil is all about, look, we are not a perfect country. President Trump is certainly not a perfect man. But, and that's a big but, most Americans are decent people. About 15% of us are evil. That's my what I put on that percentage. 15% of the whole human race is evil. They'll hurt you if they can. They like it. Putin. That's why Putin's on the cover of the book. He likes certain people. We don't have a lot of that in our leadership. Trump sees the world very black and white. You're either with him or you're against him. If you're against him, he's going to try to mock you or whatever. If you're with him, he's your best pal. That's what he is. He's not changing. But from a historical viewpoint, he's done a lot of good things. And he's done some bad things too. But he is very interested in his legacy. So he's not going to try to take over in the next 3 years. He's not going to try to run for a third term. This is all ridiculous. But you know what he'll do? And you guys will find this interesting. Every day Donald Trump wakes up for him his 2 hours sleep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And his first thought is, how can I torture my enemies? So he says stuff just to get the View ladies upset.
Right? It works.
Just to get Whoopi Goldberg agitated. Right.
Yeah.
He'll just
and they take it literally. Anything. They take everything he says literal. And then
he loves it. Look at this reaction. Look at MSNBC. They're setting themselves on fire. Yes. And now I'm going to say this. Yeah. He doesn't do any of it. So you got to understand where he's coming from. I did that when I was 7 years old, but he continues to do it.
Like the whole Canada thing he came out with. Well, I think it'd be the great. Right. He was just kidding. Drove people crazy.
Kidding. He didn't like Trudeau.
Yeah.
Trudeau is a little nebbish to him. And now but you got to give Trudeau, he's running around Katy Perry. That's not bad. Okay. He didn't like Trudeau at all.
Not bad.
So he goes, how can I annoy Trudeau? I'm taking it over. And
of course.
Boom.
Okay.
Now, does everyone want that from their president? Not everyone.
I know.
But you know, we just had Biden, who was very quiet. So we've got too quiet, and then we got too loud.
He was napping.
Yeah.
And it was a do not disturb sign over his entire administration. I mean, that's what it was. And I knew that from the jump because Biden was never a hard worker. Even when he was a senator, he was never a guy who was that interested in public policy. He just wasn't. Boy, you should talk to Barack Obama about Joe Biden.
Well, yeah,
anyway,
I've read some of that.
If you understand Trump, you won't hate him as much. That's my message to Beverly Hills.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah. You got to think about not what he says, but what he does. And overseas, getting those Hamas guys out, those hostages, that was one tough deal. And if he can bring in China, because I was in China at the government's request over there. They were like you. They asked me to be on their podcast, but in person in Beijing, and I went over on my own dime to talk about Trump.
I was going to say,
yeah,
I passed on that one.
No, my son, I dragged him because he's a political science major. And he goes, "Are you sure we want?" And I no, this is a once in a lifetime experience. You're going to be sitting across the most powerful guys in the second most powerful nation in the country, and 3 hours we did. But if Trump can bring that in and calm things down over there and get a decent trade deal with them, huge.
Right.
Do you think there's any chance we could create a stronger alliance with them?
Yeah, because they're business people. They're not like Putin's a psychopath. He wants to kill women and children. It's impossible to do.
So what do we do with Ukraine?
You have to make a deal with China.
Oh, okay, because they're...
And I'm involved with this very deeply with President Trump. It's triangulation, they call it. If we can make a deal with China, and China withdraws its support from Putin, Putin's finished. And that is starting because Trump's going to sell all the Anwar oil to Beijing. That means that Beijing doesn't have to buy it from Putin.
And there's enough up there. It's in
Oh
animal.
my God, the polar bears are covered with it. I mean,
They're not even white anymore.
Here's
Yeah.
two. You got any other? Here's two. One. I
Um,
just quick takes. One is that these things unachievable, impossible. What would Trump do? The debt, the 38, 37, 38 trillion, and affordability is all and that's going to take time to bring down housing costs. What is your thoughts on those?
Well, he knows after last week that the midterms are in jeopardy. Yeah, he knows, and his legacy depends on keeping the House and Senate in November 26. So the first salvo was, I'll give everybody $2,000. Okay. But if you look at it, if you go to BillO'Reilly.com, which is where I live, we earn that money because Trump wouldn't get any of these tariffs if not for U.S. consumers buying the stuff from China. So what Trump's doing is basically charging an admission fee for all foreign nations to sell their stuff inside the United States because we buy more than anybody else by far. So it's us that are making people want to send stuff here, and Trump is exploiting that. And that's the kind of commentary I do every day on BillO'Reilly.com. But it's going to be very difficult to force people to lower their prices. When I was in LA, the hotel I stayed at was charging $36 for a cheeseburger. $36 for a cheeseburger. So I went out to In-N-Out and I got 14 for $36.
Sure.
You know, and I brought them in and gave them to all the bellhops. I said, hey, don't buy that stuff. But to go into the hotel and say you can't charge that. So it's a very, very difficult thing. I don't know whether the Republicans are going to be successful. However, the Democrats don't have much, and that is the Republicans' big advantage.
Well, the
in terms of
tariffs
leadership
pay off
policies or whatever. When you say the Democrats don't have much, he's into their policies, leadership.
All of it across the board. You said a $38 trillion debt. Well, what do the Democrats want to do? They want to spend more and more and more and more and more. And you can't.
And we got if you try to lower it, how do you get reelected? I mean, it's a very difficult thing for both
parties.
Parties.
Mandani just got elected, and he's a communist. He's not a socialist. And free bus rides for everybody. And the governor yesterday goes, well, we don't have enough money to do that. It's $800 million a year to give free bus rides to everybody. And New York State is already like California and deep in debt. Where are they going to get the money? And all the rich people are moving out. They're all going to Florida, Tennessee, or wherever. And where are you going to get it? So that's what I say. The Democrats can't continue on this. And then they got the woke stuff, and then they got this stuff. And, you know, if the Democrats had a guy like JFK, not RFK Jr., no, all right, but RFK Sr., they'd win. They had a charismatic leader like Trump, they'd win.
So they're looking for that guy. Yeah.
They're looking. You know, Colbert turned it down, but
anyway, this has been a pleasure. I mean,
thank you, Bill.
You're never boring, like I said. And
not boring.
BillO'Reilly.com and the No Spin News podcast. You're everywhere.
Yeah, we're all, and I really appreciate you guys reading Confronting Evil. And I hope people will check that book out. You learn a lot, and it's fun to read. You know, I hate to use the word fun and evil in the same thing.
It's fascinating. These names are iconic, Genghis Khan, whatever. And then you're into the detail of how they got so evil, how they got their power, and what happens to them, and the people who risk their lives to take them out. So it's just stories that are fascinating that happen to be kind of dark.
I'm glad you guys liked it. I just want to say I've always admired your talent, both of you. That whole crew with Miller and Norm and you guys. I mean, that was just a highlight of American television, and it was. And I'm pleased to be on with you, and thanks for taking the time.
Thank you,
Bill. Appreciate it. And we'll talk soon.
You will.
Let me see what you got, Spade.
Look.
Not as good. Not as good. Scribbles.
I called for line. and we didn't have any system in place for line.
So calling it back. Yeah.
From the booth, I hear our poor stage manager go, "I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, you have to tell the audience there's real bullets and you're really shooting at each
This is
other.
a great idea, David.
And
Yeah.
one
But
person
put it on the
gets-
playbill.
That's the kind of producing we need.
So Billy, Crewed Up is he's on the morning show. He's in Prefontaine, right?
Yeah, I was really excited to talk to Billy because I've just, he's one of those just kind of always good actors. Everything he does is great. He's amazing in the morning show, like electric.
Yeah.
And yet he's sort of under the radar as a celebrity. I don't know how you describe those kinds of people. He's always good, but he's not around. Then he comes in and he's always great. And he's in Jay Kelly, which he was promoting with Adam Sandler and George Clooney.
Yeah.
And just very, very interesting guy to talk to. Very interesting.
Yes. Adam says a lot of great things about him because once we talked to him, I went on the road with Adam and loves this dude, thinks he's a big star. He's a great looking, cool dude that you guys got into that Prefontaine movie a lot.
Yeah, and he started as Steve Prefontaine. There was a few movies about this famous Olympic runner from the 70s, and his was great. He did a great job with that. So I don't know, it was just fun talking to a guy like that.
He's in so many. Once you see his face, he's very well known anyway. But you go, oh, that guy. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, well, we were watching Spotlight last night. It's a Michael Keaton movie.
Was he in Spotlight? Yeah.
And then he shows up in Spotlight. It's like, and he's great. So anyway, really fun, nice guy, and highly entertaining, highly intelligent. Anyway, I enjoyed it. I hope you will.
Here he is, Billy Crudup. We're not going to talk about how good looking he is. We're going to skip that because people get sick of it.
Look at those notes.
Look at
goodness. Hi. Let me see what you got, Spade.
Look.
Not as good. Not as good. Scribbles.
That's the man who prepares.
That's right. You and I found Justin Thoreau. When I found out you were friends, I went, "Oh, that makes sense."
Yeah,
this is how I connected. Good-looking guys, handsome guys, because I mean, obviously Spade and I are, sex symbols with a small s, but you guys, and you don't play it up that much.
The small what?
Which S? Is it the sex or the symbol that's small? I don't know.
Or the wiener.
What? Wait, somewhere an angel gets their wings when he says wiener.
Wait,
yeah,
can I
got it in fast this show.
This is where Justin and I met. We were doing a play in New York, and he and Paul Giamatti and I were all in it. And the three of us used to take breaks regularly while the rest of them were doing drama to go play video games near Times Square. And that's when he and I became friends back in 1996.
Whoa.
Oh, I love it.
There's something about you guys. I'd say two ex-cons, white collar criminals become undercover cops, and it's called We Know All the Tricks.
We go to the same surgeon. We've been using the same guy year after year. Giamatti decided to go with a different guy.
God, these are three of my favorites. You're already in my top three. Giamatti, I love talking to Justin, and now you. We could stop right now. You guys are because both those two are
incredible. I can't keep up with them.
Well, Giamatti is just
he's a monster.
Yeah.
Are you in New York now?
I'm in LA right now, just doing some press and stuff.
Now here's a big question everyone gets with you. Is it three options are crewed up, or crud?
Some people pronounce it fuckwad.
Fuck face, fuckwad.
My family and I have always pronounced it crewed up.
Crewed up.
It's German, and I think there used to be an umlaut over it.
Ooh, an umlaut. Yeah, like in Lowenbrow.
Yeah, crewed up.
Yeah.
I'm doing the movie with Billy
Crewed up.
Crewed up. That's right. You did that play where you played 14 characters. What were some? Did you do a lot of different voices and accents?
Can you do 7 of them?
Could you do? I've already seen German.
Babe, I'm not giving it away for free, pal. If you
I know. I want
something on the side. I'll give you 3.
I heard that movie Multiplicity with Keaton was 7 or 8. That was I thought that was impossible. But
Yeah,
God,
but
how,
this
that
was a
must be tough.
play where you came out naked and then you do 14 characters.
I think you're conflating two things, Dan.
Oh,
Your
I'm not a good
imagination.
researcher.
Yeah, that's right. Your fantasies and the actual off-Broadway production. Actually, no,
Okay.
the theater that I did do the play in, that was the first place I ever did a play in New York in 1994. And in fact, there was a scene where I appeared completely naked for
Whoa.
$225 a week in what I might say was a relatively chilly theater. That being
Yeah,
said,
I would say that.
you
if I was
had
up
to.
you
there.
ever
were you at that?
consider
Tell us,
saying-
David, I know you
Put it
were
on the
off-Broadway.
playbill.
It was an esoteric think piece on Japanese internment camps, so I'm sure you didn't miss it, Spade.
You know what? I was sick that week, but
We ran
I
longer
usually
than a
try to
week.
get out and watch the boards.
Spade worked as a
You just watched the board.
stand-in naked guy. Remember the Broadway show you did, Spade? There was a guy supposed to be naked, and then you would stand in for him. It was kind of a shadowy thing.
And that was
Yeah.
the last time we used stand-ins on stage.
Yeah, it was the stage version of Police
Absolutely
Academy
came down
4.
on that. It said there's no such thing as a stand-in. It's like, well, I'm here and I'm naked, so shouldn't
When
be-
I'm a stand-in, the audience goes like this, girl or boy? And they go,
They just go Spade, and that's all.
yeah, they go, it's a Spade, whatever that
right.
is. Yeah.
The other one that I did was just I told a story for an hour about a guy who's going through a bit of an identity crisis, and he's from Indiana, but he grew up wanting to speak with a British accent. So his dad beat the shit out of him, and none of them had ever been to England, but he didn't like that his son liked to speak like this all the time. And so he came up with this other alter ego, which was like, oh, go, you want to fuck with me? Go fuck yourself. How about that, Dad? Just take this punch in the nuts. So there was that kind of character was going back and forth. So I was having dialogues between the two of them. And so by the end of it, you just feel like you've seen a story, and then the lights come up and it's just one dude. So you go, oh, theater's fun. So that was the kind of whole.
Is that the 14 one you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you had to do all that. Is very tough to do.
It was so tough, in fact, David, that they during the first week of previews, I went up, I forgot my lines, and so I've never forgotten my lines like that, and I started to have a full-blown panic attack. You get tunnel vision, my heart's coming out of my chest.
Sure.
And there's only 150 people there. It's not like anything terrible is going to happen, but still, you feel responsible for their $30 in each seat. So I called for line, and we didn't have any system in place for line.
So calling it back. Yeah.
From the booth, I hear our poor stage manager go, I don't know what I'm going to do. At which point, I shit my pants. The full Norm pits everywhere.
God.
I cut about 20 minutes from the show, and it's a thriller that things are supposed to accumulate over time. So nobody knew what the hell I was talking about. And then I get home, and my wife is like, I'm sure it wasn't that bad. And I'm telling this story a couple of years later, and there's silence we're at a brunch, and there's silence at the end of the table. And this director, who my wife knows, says, Gabby, I'm sure it wasn't that bad, right? And she goes, I was at that production, and that night, one of the worst experiences of my life. I said, well, put it up for
One
me.
of the West.
But you know
I
what?
don't care.
The
You want pay.
audience would never forget it, though. I'd actually
right.
rather see a debacle because
Yes,
it's
it was. It
fascinating.
was a complete train wreck.
Why do they
It's like
say
Saturday Night Live. Yeah.
this is? We have so many. It's going to be a 2-hour. But why do they say when an actor loses their train of thought or they've gone up? Is that the expression?
I mean, this is the first time I've thought about it, Dana. But I suppose because when you forget your lines, you typically go like this.
Oh, yeah.
The fuck
Looking
is that
for
line?
heaven.
You look up because you go, wait, what am I?
Yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know. I'm sure there's a better explanation.
The
but that's
first few
funny.
beats, they think you're acting, so they
That's
don't
right.
know. And then is it your stand-in supposed to yell it out? Is someone
Well,
responsible?
typically it's a stage manager, but actually that reminds me of another time that I went up, but I didn't have a panic attack on this one. It was just a quick, as you get older, I think this is my theory, guys. Any actor already has a brain that's hardwired for internalizing text. So you can take a speech, you read it once or twice, and you know the general gist of it. You get the story of it, and the words kind of go. You just have a brain that's ready for that. And as you get older, that starts to atrophy a bit, and you don't remember it until you're in front of people, and all of a sudden the words aren't there. And I was doing a play with Martha Plimpton and Ethan Hawke, amongst many others. And I had this big, long, like 5-minute monologue. And at the beginning of it, I went up, and that was the first time I'd really gone up on stage. And I thought it was kind of funny. So I just kind of paused, and I'm supposed to be lecturing the whole group, and they're listening to me. And I paused, and I was like,
and it works.
this is an awkward experience. And so I went and sat down and just kind of put my hands together, waiting for the lines to come. And to watch Martha Plimpton go from fake listening to real listening was kind of my most joyful feeling. She was like listening like this, and then she was like,
oh, so
something's happening.
Yeah.
This isn't the way it's supposed to go.
They have to adjust their acting because you're adjusting. You're acting. They're like, oh, he's doing this.
Happening. Exactly. Somebody might die.
They think you're coming over to make a new move on your speech, and they're like, okay, we're doing this now.
You're right. There might be Billy's going to improv some Tom Stoppard.
Some Tom Stoppard.
It was a Tom Stoppard play.
Oh,
There's
wow.
no improvising there.
That's funny.
No
Sounds like a Dennis Miller reference.
Christ's sakes.
Oh, Dennis Miller had some great references.
Tommy Stoppard, it's like the Sam Shepard of the East Side. All right. I don't know where that came out of. I just watched Baby Boom last night with my wife in honor of Diane Keaton. Yeah. Sam Shepard was in that. It's slapstick. It's 1930s. It's absolutely brilliant. And so is Diane Keaton and Sam Shepard. But anyway.
I'm going to tell you, Dana, something you do know, but you don't think about a lot, that the human body is fascinating. But did you know that scientists now openly say that your gut is the cornerstone of your health? The gut is the foundation of overall health and vitality. It's not just about digestion. The gut affects everything from energy to mood to weight management. I knew this, and even longevity. But here's the problem. Most gut supplements only contain probiotics or probiotics and prebiotics at best. And that's why Bioma is different. Go ahead.
That's right. Bioma contains all three, David, essential ingredients the gut needs. Prebiotics, probiotics, and postbiotics. Each ingredient is science-backed, third-party tested, designed to work together to support better health from the inside out. Just 2 capsules before breakfast make it simple to take the guesswork out of feeling your best.
Go to bioma.com/fly and use code FLY to get Bioma with an extra 15% discount. This is a limited time offer, so don't miss out. Claim your extra 15% savings today.
So where do you want to begin? I mean, morning show's out now.
Yep, we've got the 4th season out now. It feels like we did it more than a year ago. I could barely remember what happened, but
I know
it's been a great experience working on it. I have never worked on a character, more than a couple of months. So to return to this guy where they keep writing, weird shit for me to do it's been really fun. And actually, the best part has been just being with the cast and the crew, because it's been 7 years now, and you never get a chance when you've had I do plays and movies and wherever kind of the jobs come up. So it's like 3 months somewhere, and you get really intense with a group of people, and then you don't see them again for a while. So this one, getting to come back again to Los Angeles year and year with the crew and the cast that's been fucking awesome.
I'll say that this is a true story. So my wife and I are watching, I guess, season 3 or something, and John Hamm's in it, and you're in it. And, with live streaming shows, sometimes you miss a season, you come back. So we watch your character, who's sort of a genius, egomaniac, and by the end of it, we went, fuck, Billy Crudup. I mean, we both said, we were just sort of reintroduced to you by that season and that arc and that character, where someone is so in the pocket and so rhythmic and so connected in those monologues, and your alpha male confidence. It just must have been a blast, but it really landed with us. We're like, hey, honey, you want to watch anything else? Like, fucking Billy Crudup.
I had to convince them, though, that they didn't want me for that part. I had just done that a play where I was doing all those different characters. So I was like, no, if you guys give me a lot to say, I bet I can do it okay. And then when I read that specific character, if you've ever spent any time in New York and gone to a gala of any kind, it's just riddled with dudes who are room readers looking for the power. That they don't care about the charity,
Right.
they don't care about their jobs, whatever. They just want to be in proximity to power, and they know how to read people. They talk fast, they think fast, they're very proud of themselves. They've never failed before. If they have, they thought it was a lark. And so that's not how I live. It's a sweaty experience for me being in those, but I knew those guys. And so when those monologues started to come, the writer Carrie Aaron, she just started writing them for me. Like she would use the kinds of ways of speaking that I would use. So it was, and I never had that experience either. It was just, she was teeing it up for me. So all I had to figure out how to do is think more quickly, because the guy thinks in paragraphs. He doesn't think in, like little phrases. And he's sure he's seeing around corners, knows a lot more than everybody else does, very proud of himself. It's very easy. It's a good character in that environment too, because everybody's so, all the stakes are so high. Everything's so
it's kind of wound tight. Yeah,
it's so tightly wound. And so when you got a guy who comes in and goes, "Hey, this won't be a problem. Let me tell you the 15
very laissez-faire. Yeah,
the audience gets a quick reprieve, and then you get back to the drama. So
the smartest guy in the room, who knows he's the smartest guy in the room.
And you know what's funny too, Dana, is that there are plenty of producers out here, and politicians too, who will either come up to me or come up to my agent and say, "That's based on me, isn't it?" Because they're sure they're the smartest guy in the room.
Really? And Bernie Sanders said that to you.
Wait, how would he have said it, Dana?
Yeah.
You based the character on me. Did you just have a cup of coffee? This is how I talk. I'm 84.
Do not proceed.
Well, I do him as a crosswalk guard in my stand-up back. Don't proceed. Don't proceed. The system's rigged. The system's rigged. He has a lot of energy for an 84-year-old.
He sure does. He's
only 84.
That a lot.
Yeah.
Billy got a good line in the pilot where, well, the setup is we're setting the whole stage for the whole series, but I thought the pilot was super cool because it's very glossy, very expensive. It looks great. Mimi Leader, I guess, is the director from the old ER days, maybe.
And indeed, she pioneered a lot of those oneers.
And so when Steve Carell gets fired and Jennifer Aniston is sort of soaking in it, and he says nobody wants to watch a widow get fucked.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, if I was reading the pilot, I would circle that and go, make sure that stays in.
Let me tell you, and that was a temp one. They were like, "We're gonna go ahead and do a couple takes of this. We're not entirely sure." And I have to say, I think we have a couple others that were even. I don't know.
Rougher?
Hard hitting.
Is the right way, yes. For a more late night audience.
But you need those lines that stand out like that. Everyone goes, whoa, okay.
And I would say it, and they'd go cut, and I'd say, "I need a shower." That was a whole lot.
Yeah.
Man, are you guys actually going to put that out there?
Yeah, Steve Carell being a bad guy is just so much fun to watch.
Oh, that was great. He was brilliant in that. I was sad to see him go.
Such a sweet, sweet guy. There's one little fetish I have about this interview, and that is that you played. I'm a track and field guy, and I am such a distance running, mile through.
Oh, you did. All right,
days,
so you knew about Prefontaine.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yours was.
I'm a play the field guy, but go ahead.
Okay, that's similar, but not the same. That's not a decathlete. That's a dickathlete, right?
That's something like that. Yeah. I interrupted Dana. Dana's actually a good runner, so I'm glad we're talking about this.
I was during that running, and Prefontaine was the Beatle of distance running, and Jared Leto did one.
That's right.
Called Prefontaine the year before,
right?
And then yours was Without Limits, and you had Donald Sutherland. And I was just curious about your training. What did you do sports in high school?
I did. My dad was kind of a jockey guy. My granddad, he set records, high school records in boxing and football and track in North Carolina. And he had all the pictures up, all the clippings, and the trophies and stuff. And my dad was always trying to live up to that, tried out for the semi-pro Jets team, but blew out both shoulders and was selling yarn. But he was obsessed.
A natural next move.
All all of the guys who don't make it into the semi-pro league end up selling yarn one way or the other. But he had a crazy affection for sports. And, you know, it ended up coming out in a not necessarily legal way. It was a bookie for many years, but we had TVs on all the time, and so sports. It was a big thing. I don't know if you guys ever saw The Great Santini.
We both lived it. We had kind of
so that was my dad too.
Oh,
After
really?
my dad saw that, he called us sports fans for about 2 years, and he was the kind of guy who my brother played baseball in high school, and my dad would bring 6-pack of Miller High Life or whatever, start to get drunk in the stands, start yelling at the umpire, get kicked out to the parking lot where he had another 6-pack, and start laying on the horn and yelling at him from out in the parking lot. So there was a lot of sports, and I was the feelings guy. I was short and skinny, and I put on shows and stuff, but I liked to compete. And about when you get to high school, first of all, a fastball your freshman year, if you're not feeling it, that looks really fast. And baseball wasn't going to be the thing for me. And soccer, which I had played since I was like, first grade or whatever, I became, a lot slower as the guys got faster. So much so they called me Flash for a while. And I thought, nope, that's not for me either. But I had always, I had wrestled since 4th grade. And that's when, it's a handicap system. So you're always wrestling guys your weight. So I wrestled when I was in high school, but I was not a great asset to the team. The year
what was your weight class?
Yeah, what were you?
I was 148, and I think we had 152 at the time.
Were you? That's big for. I would have wrestled.
Oh, you were a heavyweight.
I don't even know how tall you are. I don't know anything.
It's not necessarily fat. It's I would have wrestled it at 112. I think.
I was honestly, I was 114 or something. I was like a fucking full pipsqueak. So,
but I loved the competition. So when I got to do that movie, I did like exercising and stuff. But there was a woman named Patricia Donnelly who was in another of Robert Towne's movies called Personal Best, which was you remember that, David?
I do sort of.
I know you do. And
Robert Towne made a lot of great movies.
There was a relationship between two of the athletes, and there was a shower scene. And that's why I'm thinking you might remember that.
All right, let's look at a clip.
So we did our research about you, and you did your research about David.
That's
little known
the research
fact.
comes from just taking a hard look at him, right there.
There's nothing to know. It's
it
already
exudes stuff.
And so she said, "Listen, the thing that'll screw you up if you do this is if we run anything more than 200 meters at a time, because we're gonna do these takes, and then there's gonna be an hour between the setup, and during that time, if you cool down, you're gonna tear something when we get back up and going again. So I'm only gonna train you with intervals." And we spent about like 6 weeks training out here. And the guy ran in a kind of specific way. He's sort of barrel-chested and ran with his chest out,
bent arms a little bit.
Exactly. He's kind of giving it. And he wasn't as efficient as some of the other runners. He liked to run with guts. So I just had a incredible time getting to hang out with all those people and some really world-class athletes and runners, that, and all of them, when you see middle distance runners, it looks like they're jogging. They're running like 4-minute mile pace. They're just so efficient with their movement. And a 4-minute mile pace for anybody else is a full sprint. So learning how to do that, was that was a really fun experience.
I think you see them chunked together, and it looks like they're all going medium.
Totally,
because they're all together. But if anyone else was running, they wouldn't be able to keep up. But
100%,
you can't really tell.
The cardio on those guys, it's unusual. They all have, pretty physiologically unique bodies.
Yeah, VO2 max is a big
VO2 max
measurement, and Prefontaine was 84, 85. There was a Norwegian cross country skier that was 93. Then some of the people stopped testing, but Lance Armstrong apparently was an 83 or an 84. He knew he couldn't beat a
Explain that.
91 or a 92. Just the engine, the way your oxygen gets to your muscles and through your cardiovascular system, your heart, lungs, arteries, and all that. And so if you're really efficient and you have a gift, like you
have a head start a little bit.
Yeah, you definitely do. That's the gift of it. You just can run and then you can train it. But so I thought it was great. I thought you really captured it. And Donald Sutherland was great as Bowerman. So that was a tremendous movie.
And Conrad Hall, who shot Bonnie and Clyde, he was our cinematographer. And
cool.
You know, the fact of the matter, I was just scared shitless. That was my first like big part. And I did not want to let anybody down, and I wasn't sure that I was up for the task, you know, and so I couldn't really ever take the time to enjoy the fact that I was getting a chance to work with these, you know, great people. Conrad Hall was testing out some new equipment because he wanted to do these specific kinds of shots where he was using a very long lens at magic hour. So low light, long lens means you have a very small depth of field, which means the focus puller, if you are running at him, has to be able to keep up with you in a very precise way. Otherwise, you know, you'll
like in real time. It's constantly moving.
So he was developing the laser at the time. He was one of the first ones using the laser to try to. Well, meanwhile, I'm running over these hills again and again and again. He's like, all right, we got precisely, which is not the exact great attitude to take with Conrad Hall. So
never.
So it was a bit of a mixed bag. I look back at it now and I think, oh man, I wish I wasn't such a.
I know. I thought your pre was great, and I thought you actually had a resemblance once you got the kind of wig on and everything, and you're playing this insecure but hyper confident, hyper cocky. I mean, Pre was so charismatic.
He was
about. I'll get it down to a pure guts race because then no one can beat me.
His interviews are bonkers when you look. I mean, he had such incredible confidence, and he also he was kind of prescient about athletics as well. He was one of the first guys who was advocating, saying, "You're not paying for anybody. You should pay for somebody." I mean, these amateur athletes are busting their balls. They're living in squalor, and the colleges are making money off of it. So
I've always said that. Like the Olympics is another feels like a scam because you go there, you train your whole life, and then it's over. And then even if you won, what's next? Coaching? I mean,
totally.
You win or you lose, even worse. So you trained all that for nothing or whatever, and then you go, I have to start studying for a life or a career or.
But what's the alternative? Because I love amateur athletics.
I do love it. It's a big sacrifice for sure.
It sucks. I mean, I went to Carolina, so I'm a college basketball fan, and trying to figure out. I mean, one of the things that is exciting about watching college athletics is you will inevitably be watching a game where a young person becomes themselves, and they'll do it in front of a crowd of 30,000 people. And it is incredible to watch. All of a sudden, this young athlete becomes the professional athlete that he's going to be the rest of his life.
Wow,
and
that's cool.
You know, you don't, if you're paying for it in one way or another, I'm not sure you're going to get the same experience. But obviously, I always thought it should be deferred income. They should be able to, there's like a pool of money that at 25, they start to get to tap into the rest of their lives or something like that. But
well, at least they can do NIL. I mean, name, image, likeness. They can monetize.
Yeah, they can do that now. Yeah, exactly.
So that's
they almost don't use any of those letters. It's just money. It's like, what happened to the image? Like they go, no, we'll just shovel you some cash.
Well, some of those attractive people or gymnasts that they can go on Instagram, whatever. They make really good money. They got to stay in school, but there's a lot of money in professional sports. I'll just go out and say it. I don't know if that's a hot take.
That's a hot take. It is.
But you want to get like Brock Purdy of the 49ers he came in as the last guy drafted, and then he had these great seasons, but he got his contract. He's hurt now, and it had a guarantee.
Yeah, he's rolling out there with $900,000 a year when everyone else is getting $40 million. He must be like, my ship better come in soon.
Right.
because-
If he finishes this game, then he's on to his $200 million contract. Oh, he's tackled. He's down. They're taking him off.
yeah, I wouldn't give it to him. I wouldn't give it to him.
But
It's
he
like,
made
oh my Lord.
$3,800.
Absolutely heartbreaking.
It's
Yeah.
so
That's how
brutal.
they're
It's,
calling it now. I mean, they've got the lines up on every game while you're watching them. So
Oh, I
like
know.
probability to have a career will be the next one.
At least
Based
with
on that
actors,
play,
we have 9 lives. We can keep coming back.
it's true.
There is
I
no-
watch those
little
running
bit silly.
backs. They're like, this is the running back for the next 4 years. And they pull their hamstring. They go, next guy up. We forgot about the other guy already.
Oh, God,
It's unreal.
it really is.
It's
a
a
tough business.
that's a rough one. Shall we talk about Jay Kelly?
Oh yeah, man. Let's talk
Yeah,
about it.
I don't want
yeah.
to drive the interview because
You
I could
got
talk to you about
Adam
Pre for a half
Sandler.
hour.
It was a fun experience, and typically it's the people who were runners in high school or college that respond to it. So I'm always happy to talk about it. But yeah,
Yeah.
Jay Kelly. You know who does some running in this? George Clooney.
Clooney
Watch the
running.
trailer.
Oh.
He's not doing the same kind of running. He's running from something. But
Yeah, what is the premise?
well, the premise is there's a guy who's in the last part of his career, an actor, a big, famous, fat movie star,
Mhm.
and he's got 2 daughters who he has a kind of unfamiliar relationship with. They both wanted more from him than he could give, and he finishes this one big picture, and he's at home, has a like sort of brief rest, and his mentor dies. And he goes to the memorial, sees some of his old friends, some of his old classmates, and realizes that maybe in this process of trying to pursue this career, he's missed out on his life. And, you know, for me, there's something just gorgeous about George playing that character. And Adam is his agent in it and is absolutely spectacular. And he's really loving, adoring, kind.
Yeah,
agent.
he's
Not
a
like
nice
his
guy. He's a
sidekick.
nice guy in it, right?
Sure,
Yeah, I mean,
Adam.
he's
Yeah.
beautiful in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And George is too. And you know, it's also too about America and how we attach our own expectations on the movie stars. That's like the gilded idea. What if everything goes perfect? You could end up with this sort of life where limousines are always pulling up for you, and you're in the perfect.
And
clothes
is
and
it
in perfect
perfect?
shape.
It's a great, interesting concept because someone who doesn't get to do that, they have their kids and they give up their career. The whole life they're going, wow, what if I had that? You
Yeah,
know, I
exactly.
never got that. And then the person gets it, goes, I didn't get that. I didn't get the other thing, which they got.
I'm going to put this out there for you guys to discuss, but I do think there's something very American about that. This capitalistic idea that we're the land of opportunity leaves a lot of people feeling like, because most of the lives that people lead are normal and they are fine, but they're not gilded. And so when this country has the expectation that you have all the opportunity in the world, most people end up feeling like, oh, my great life is about to start. And meanwhile, while you're waiting for your great life to start, you miss your life rather
you're doing
than
your life,
accepting the fact that, you know, you can still work hard. You might have there might be some great payoff there, but there's a beautiful life to be had just the same. But I think there's some of that in Jay Kelly.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because they always say, tell your kids, you can do anything in the world. I'm like, you can't.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
that's a little
Exactly.
overreaching, because then the whole time they'll be whatever they're doing, like, wait, I could do anything. And you're like, not really.
That's what I mean. And you end up feeling, my dad, he felt like shit about himself the whole time because he never hit the jackpot. And that's a tough, you know, Death of a Salesman is all about that. There's an American kind of ideal that if you don't make it, then you have failed. And by make it, you know, like you're the bigwig.
And in a
you
free
could have
market
good things going. Yeah.
system, there's whimsy to it. Like my friend knew someone who just was a nice young woman out of junior college or something, got a job at Apple in 97, got shares, retired, millionaire. You know, we're in a casino where people can pull the slot. And I'd
100%.
say the things that had to come together for just me to get on SNL, that the previous season wasn't so good. I was there at that time. My manager, Bernie Burlstein, knew Lorne Michaels. I mean, so there's always whimsy to it and luck. But in the end of the day, most people are hanging out, whether it's George Clooney or you or me, you're with your wife watching a show. going for a run, whatever. Most people just hang out, but it's very difficult, I think, especially right now, hot take, social media for young people. Everyone's a star. Everyone's making millions. Everyone
Totally agree.
seems to be
Better
on a
looking
yacht
than they
in
are.
the
Totally
Mediterranean.
agree.
Everyone's on a yacht. I
And
say
they're
to
all
people,
curating their lives. None of it
Yeah.
like, I'm like, how much of that shitty picture? Why not post that one?
Yeah.
Because we look terrible. And that's kind of how we felt that day. Wouldn't that?
Yeah.
That makes for good content.
That
That's
might
real.
be a real, like, shows the life that it's not always 10 out of 10 every second.
I think that would be great. Whatever platform is going to take over, I don't know. There's some Instagram corollary in there you could come up
Yeah.
with.
You're like,
think
hello,
these are
sharks.
Smart guys.
everything you get, you give up something, and everything you give up, you get something. So if you're going to get all that fame, then you're sort of an exotic insect out in
And
the
that's
world.
precisely what Noah is taking a look at. I think part of him too was kind of disenchanted with movie making. After this movie he did, White Noise, came out, and he didn't feel like people understood it in the way maybe that he wanted. And so he wanted to make a movie that was about how lovely movie making is and how lovely the experience is for the people who get to do it. So part of it is really charmed, but there's an underbelly of, I think I've really missed my entire life. There's this great line by his daughter where she says, "You know why I know you didn't want to be there? Because you weren't there." And it's like, oh,
dagger.
And he goes, but all of this, everything that I've done, all these movies that I've made, all the ways in which I've transformed culture and entertainment, it must be worth something. And she's like, but what if it isn't? And you're like,
God damn.
What if
Stop talking to that kid.
Because they are just movies.
I'd be like,
you're out of my will.
Just those two. And he goes, it's probably he's going, I did all this for you. And she's like, no, you didn't.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And I think it's a beautiful.
It would take
movie.
some of the pretense off if we got rid of the word acting and said, and the best pretender goes to. He can pretend in front of a lens really good.
Look at this liar.
I've never seen a pretender like this. But actor. Now, your character in the movie is the one who quite didn't make it, who's friends with
Correct.
George Clooney?
Yeah, he was his buddy at acting school, and they took acting classes together. And he didn't.
That always happens.
Our worlds are replete with them. It's just,
of course,
it's an impossible business. And so George's character runs into him at the memorial, and because George is feeling like he's just on the verge of having that idea that he may have missed out on his life. And he was like, hey man, you were one of my buddies back in the day. We should go have a beer. And the guy's like, oh, that would be really nice. Should I, call your office or something? And he goes, no, let's go right now. So they go and have a beer. And George's character is kind of regaling him and like, oh, you were the actor we all looked up to or whatever. I could watch you do anything. So he kind of peer pressures him into doing some impromptu acting. And so it's like, it's a great weird trick that Noah tries to pull off.
That's Noah Baumbach.
Yeah, Noah Baumbach.
We didn't say that. That's Noah.
Oh, I didn't say that before.
Director, writer.
I mean, just a fantastic collaborator. It was a completely charmed experience for me to get a chance to do it and work with those guys. Sure. So I breezed in for 4 days, and now I get to do.
This.
We went to Venice. No, this is great.
Was Adam there? I think he was, right?
He was. We had a great time in Venice, and then we went to Telluride together. So I feel it's all icing on the cake for me.
Yeah.
So behind the scenes, just man to man, is Clooney? What's that all about?
Yeah.
No, I wanted to give Clooney a compliment in case he hears this, but
he hasn't had one.
Clooney is phenomenal. He's almost exactly as you might imagine. He has the most brilliant stories. He is incredibly generous, really gregarious. I remember when we were in Venice, the paparazzi follows you on boats. It's kind of nerve-wracking experience. And so Naomi and I were kind of hiding under the canopy from them. And George does the opposite. He goes up and takes the wheel of the boat, and so he can get all the pictures.
He
That's the
can't
captain.
escape. He's like Mickey Mouse out in the world.
Venice is my life, and he's pretty impressive. The number of ways that he's involved, not just in the career, but involved in our culture and our politics. And
he's out there.
He's out there. He lives a very, very big life.
He did a nice thing early on and came to the premiere of either Black Sheep or Tommy Boy and talked to my mom for 10 minutes, and my mom will always remember it.
Yeah,
he was killing it then. He's actually never really been not killing it for most people. From ER on, it's been up here. So even back then,
he talks about his career with a level of humility too that is unusual for someone who's accomplished the kinds of things that he's accomplished. Sure. But he still has that old memory of being a working actor, not having ER yet, trying to get jobs, doing some shitty movies. I mean,
doing Facts of Life.
Yeah,
Facts of Life. Yeah.
He and Laura Dern were on the stage at
right.
New York Film Festival talking about the fact that they had both been in Grizzly 2, which wasn't released.
Someone else just told us that.
Yes, until like recently. And it's like they die in the first scene, but they're the headliners now on the case.
Oh, that's so funny.
I love George Clooney in The Descendants, which is one of
a great
one of those movies that my wife and I will visit once in a while.
Yeah,
because it's so brilliant. And his scene at the end where he says goodbye to his wife in the hospital, that is masterclass. I mean, that's as good as it gets.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. So, he's a superb actor, and there is a funny kind of thing that happens in the movie. Is there's a tribute to Jay Kelly, and you see the George Clooney movies.
The actual ones.
That's funny.
Oh, funny. So it's kind of like
spoiler alert there. Yeah,
no, that's interesting. Okay.
Oh no,
that'll reel them in.
Great. And it's supposed to be at a film festival. So when we took this to film festivals and watched the film festival crowd watching George
film festival
a tribute, it's an exceptional and unique experience.
And would you call it dramedy, comedy? What would you say?
Yeah, dramedy sounds good.
Okay.
It looks like
Noah
a good
always
movie.
likes to bring in a little bit of
pathos.
There's some edge to even his most lighthearted movies. There's something uncomfortable, but George and Adam's relationship in particular is it's really sweet, and it's executed so well, and it's just charming.
I think, we're in the same management company as Adam, and, we know 4 or 5 managers, so Adam would have a lot to draw from. So I'll be interested to see
which one he picks.
Who he leans on.
He might be more like himself.
And himself as well, because he's just a mentor.
And we've all had people in our lives. You can't do this alone. And you can see in some of them raw ambition. In some of them, you can see like distraction. In some of them, you can see like they're biding their time. But very few do you see like some mentorship. And they see what you specifically, David Spade, have to offer.
Yes.
And they're able to promote that in a way that not only makes you feel good about it, but tells the story of you to people who want to hire you. And that's who he plays in this.
It's hard to find.
It's hard to find.
There's a great line in the movie where Adam says, he goes, "You're Jay Kelly and I'm Jay Kelly."
Exactly.
It becomes like this. And, I'm sure you've done it yourself. A young actor you saw in a play or you meet and you want to say nice things or encouragement and that's a skill set. And an art really too, to not look like you're shining them on, but actually specifically, I always say specific compliments.
Absolutely, and not condescending either. Like, oh, I'm an old sage or whatever. It's really hard but it's important. I mean, I remember the people who, terrific actor Victor Garber, who I did play with. And do you know Victor?
I just remember him being on like Mannix.
Yeah, so Victor was like a veteran when I was working with him first time. But the way that he was supportive was, unique. It was, it's the kind of thing that you feel like, oh, okay, this might be a hard profession, but at least there's some people in it who I can align myself with. And
right. And some people are too competitive. It's not always the case. There's not everyone's out there to help you out. So
it's mostly competitive.
They want you to go away. Especially if you're any good. They want you out of there. So it is good to get someone that actually feels like they give a shit. It's
unusual. For some reason, Soap Dish just popped in my mind. I don't know why.
Is great.
It's a great movie. I mean, Kevin Kline, though. But there was some kind of competitive thing between them.
Soap, yeah.
Oh,
I love that scene where he's on stage and he's doing, it's dinner theater. And he's doing Death of a Salesman. And somebody's eating and he turns to him and goes, "You're doing very well."
Oh man!
Hey, what's the play you're doing?
I want to talk about this because this fascinates me. First of all, Jay Kelly, November 14th in the theaters, December 5th, Netflix. Okay, so then London, December 17th, High Noon, which I saw as a kid.
Yeah,
and I remember it to this day. It really hit me hard. I think I might have been alone and 10 years old, black and white. You're making High Noon, the Gary Cooper movie, 1952, 3.
Right.
As a play in London. Okay.
That's right.
Tell us all about it.
There's a great screenwriter, Eric Roth. He wrote Forrest Gump, recently did Star is Born, and has collaborated on, a million things, probably been nominated for 6 Academy Awards. He's never written a play before, but he was really interested in this story. And he and I worked briefly together on The Good Shepherd, it was called. It was a spy movie. And I just had a ready affection for him. He was like one of the guys that you're talking about, like a real mensch, like really wants to support and encourage the creative process. He understands how insecure everybody is and is just a really expert writer. In any case, High Noon, it turns out, it was written by a guy who was blacklisted. With the timing is not necessarily correspondent, but what I think he saw coming was that in the face of physical threat, people and communities will capitulate. And that this sheriff who's been taking care of this town for 15, 20 years now, and has just turned in his badge, the bad guy is coming back to town on the High Noon train. He's about to leave because he's just married a Quaker, and she says, "I don't want you to have anything to do with guns." And the town is like, "Nope, we'll be totally fine. Don't worry, we're gonna get you, Marshall." And he's like, "Wait, I can't leave. I know what you guys were like before I got here. You're about to get screwed. This guy is,
slaughtered. Yeah.
He is a badass, and he shouldn't have been released from jail. I don't know what happened. The politicians up north released him, but so he goes around to try to get a posse together, and everybody's like, I don't know. My shop is in really good shape right now.
I'd love to help you.
The Apple Dumpling Gang.
Exactly. The Apple Dumpling Gang. Tim Conway pops out of it. I'm not sure what?
Wow.
Oh, one of my all-time favorites. We need the Don Knotts in this one. But so he wrote this for the stage. And it's
Who are you?
I play the Gary Cooper part. And so I got to figure out who my sheriff is right now. So that's what I'm gonna. I've been watching a lot of westerns now. They're actually great to revisit right now. There's one called The Oxbow Incident with Henry Fonda.
Another one that blew my mind as a kid.
My Darling Clementine, another great, like the first Wyatt Earp story. Henry Fonda again, freaking incredible. Shane,
the man who shot Liberty Valance.
The man who shot Liberty Valance. That's another phenomenal one.
So you're in on that. You can sort of help figure out.
I'm going to try to, David. We've got some fantastic collaborators. The director Thea Sherrick, who is really a brilliant director and a great designer named Tim Hadley, and an actress named Denise Goff, who is just otherworldly on stage. And so we're going to give that a go in London.
It's exciting.
Hopefully
I love theater in London.
Me too, man.
I saw The Ferryman out there, and I was just
that was a great production. I saw that one as well. Did you see Jerusalem there?
No.
Oh, it was a Mark Rylance one, and just sublime.
I'd be interested though, with a set design, like a Western town.
Well, that's the problem of it. Exactly. Yeah. So, when you watch the movie, they cut from inside the saloon to the barber shop, up to there. And you can't do that on the stage. So it's going to take some inventive. Also, too, there's a gunfight. How exactly do you stage that in a way that is both dramatic enough, reveals something about what it means to be shooting at each other.
Yeah, you have to tell the audience there's real bullets and you're really shooting at each other.
It's a great idea, David.
And one person
put it on the playbill.
That's the kind of producing we need.
That's outside the
You need
box.
fresh ideas.
There it is, guys. Real guns.
Real guns.
Flying.
Think about it at lunch.
Everybody signs the waiver.
Just say it's after the intermission. We use real bullets. It's blank.
Yeah.
That's right. You can decide to stay.
You can leave if you want.
You want to come to the good show or the bad one?
But Gary Cooper didn't have much dialogue, so you probably won't have a lot of dialogue in this.
Dana,
one.
you have hit on two of the major challenges in trying to stage this. Is he's known as a guy of few words. But like on stage, that doesn't really translate.
Two words.
Are you adding your precious monologues?
Well, so what they've done is
they've
given him like an internal monologue, where he gets to speak to the audience.
He's thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you go like this. Here's the new one. You walk into the horse. You go, check out this saloon. That looks pretty cool. Oh, look, they have a general store. They're like, Billy, you sure you want to add all this stuff?
Hold on, I got to write this down, David. This is gold. Check out the saloon. Was it?
A lot of good filler. Yeah, you need filler.
Here's my Gary Cooper.
Right.
This is your only line in the first act. I reckon I don't know where I'm going to be going.
Is that Obama?
Oh, no. Yeah, I should have done Henry Fonda. If you have any problem, just do Henry Fonda. Nobody knows what he talks like anymore.
Oh, that's it.
You can use that voice the whole time. He could have done that.
Dead on, man. That is dead on.
Nobody wants to listen to anyone but Jimmy Stewart from old-timey actors.
Oh, no. I mean, when Henry Fonda, his voice actually, in those Westerns in particular, that's the thing that gives him authenticity. That's the thing that makes you feel like, oh, yeah, that guy seems like a marshal.
I figure I better figure out what I want to do. It's kind of a very distinct rhythm. And again, I don't like your.
I don't have that one yet, but I'm going to be working on it.
But you're going to be stoic. And how tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
Okay, so you're fine.
I mean, I've played 5'8" my whole life. But
so you'll be 6'4" with the cowboy boots on.
I mean, it's one of those things like when you meet someone of a stature like myself, who's running in at about $165, 5'8", 5'9". You have to figure out what community would want him to run the show with respect to law enforcement. So he's got a couple of chances. He's got to be really good at talking. He doesn't mind negotiating uncomfortable situations. And it helps that this character is a vet. He fought in the Civil War. So he must have, and there's a couple of guys that I found online that were small guys who were, awarded a lot of medals and stuff because they just had a screw loose and they didn't mind going into a dangerous situation.
Audie Murphy.
And the third is you got to be really good with guns.
Yeah.
So that's those are the ones that I'm going to lean on primarily, is that he doesn't mind getting into weird situations and he's really good with guns. Maybe
Kevin Hart could play the other guy.
By the way, if I had him as Frank Miller, people would say, well, that makes a perfect pairing. But Kevin Hart's, he's pretty stocky there. He's always think about out. De Niro. De Niro, he plays the power guys. Pacino played the power guys because they got a screw loose. So there's something unpredictable about them. And if you're on the short side of it, what's going to happen is he's going to rip your throat out. Something,
Pesci and Goodfellas.
Yeah, precisely. Pesci and Goodfellas. Exactly. So you got to figure out the good guy version of that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I might come to London to see it.
That sounds cool. And Billy, I have to say, very nice to meet you. And thank you. I know we're busting your balls, but it's great to have you on here.
Right back at you, David. I appreciate it.
A lot of fun.